Generations Ireland with CIE Tours. So John Miller, right here, John, he is the Generations escort that is going along on the trip. So, yeah, so besides CIE tour leader, tour bus driver guide, when you get over there, John is also one of your contacts, and he'll be with you with the transportation and at the airport and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we had one thing, CIE was unable to get your travel documents to me in time. Okay, so they're arriving in our office probably on Tuesday. So as soon as I get them, I'm gonna send out an email to the group. So our office is about a mile up the street. So you can stop in at your convenience to pick up the packet. Or I can drop them off here at Generations. You just need to let me know what you prefer. Or worst case, we can give them to John and he can bring them to the bus with him, but I think you're gonna want them ahead of
What's that
time.
gonna be? What is it gonna be?
The documents, what you're going to get is, you're gonna get, this will be actually a booklet, and this is what I'm gonna go over with today. It's general information, so, and we're gonna go over all that anyway, okay? You will also get a little booklet that has your vouchers in it, and you absolutely need them because CIE might ask for your trip voucher showing you're confirmed on the tour. And we'll show everybody kind of what it looks like, except it'll be in a booklet. Then you're also going to, each person's going to get a backpack, and that can be used as your carry-on, okay? Because the buses do not have a lot of room, and we'll go over that in a little bit. And then also, you will get, I believe they have like a poncho in there, in case you need that. And then also, I believe there is an adapter in there for your electrical appliances. Now, that is not a converter, it's an adapter. So if your appliance is between the European or Ireland's regulations, which is normally 220 to 240 volts, you just need an adapter. If you're at 110 volts for your appliance, you can use the adapter, but if it's like a curling iron or something, you're gonna need more wattage than that, and you would need a converter to go along with the adapter.
Cell phones are fine with just the adapter.
Yeah, yeah, cell phones are absolutely fine. So we're gonna start going over in general. So the first thing that we have, I have one of them, is the Travel House Travel Itinerary. So if you have not already seen it, I sent them out this morning. They would have gone to your email. The email will come from Axus, A-X-U-S, not Travel House, okay? So check your spam folders if you don't have it. For married couples, if I did not have both of your email addresses, it only went to whoever I had the email address for. If the other person also wants a copy, if you call me with your email address, we can send a copy. So what you can do is you can print it from that email that you got, or you can download the app onto your phone from your app store. It's Axus Travel app, and then it'll be on your phone. And after the meeting, I can show everybody, I have a sample on my phone, I can show you what it looks like.
So you need to create a password and everything?
It will, when you got the email, it'll have what you need to use as credentials to log in. Okay? If you have any problems, Sherry is my technology person. So call the office and she can kind of help you walk through it, okay? So next week, just to reaffirm, what we will do is I will send out an email as soon as I have the travel documents, and I apologize, they just didn't get them out in time. And you can either pick them up at your convenience, or again, let me know if you want them here or where you want them, okay? So we're gonna go over this itinerary in detail, and then I'm gonna go over some general information, and then we'll take any questions, and we'll go from there, okay? So first thing first is October 3rd. We are going to be leaving from here, from Generations. So you can park your car here while you're going at your own risk. I would say try not to park in the main closest to the door spots so people who are coming can, get in and out. The pickup time is 1 p.m. And then they're going to take you to Philadelphia Airport. please be here about 10 minutes before that because they have to load the luggage onto the vehicle that you're taking to the airport. John, I have the contact information for the limo service, but please let John handle all of that, so if there's an issue or anything like that, but they're normally very, very reliable, okay? For the transportation to the airport, the gratuities are all included, so don't feel you need to tip your driver or anything like that, okay? So once you get there, then you're going to go to American Airlines. Now, you cannot do an online check-in ahead of time because this is a group. So when you go to the ticket kiosk, and they normally have employees there if you need help, when you put in your passport, they normally like to see your passport, it'll bring up your reservation. Your seat numbers are on this itinerary, which when we get to that part, I'll show you where, okay? You can make your own way up to the gate, because for all of you to stick together going through security and all that, just make sure you're up at your gate and get on the flight. Or look for John if you need him for something.
What time is that flight?
The flight departs at 6:07 p.m. Okay? So, what we're going to do is, I'm going to skip a little ahead, so make sure you have your passports with you. It's always a good idea to leave a copy of your passport home with somebody in case it's lost or stolen. It's easier to replace. I also have a copy of everybody's passport, so if somebody can get hold of me too if it would be needed. I have a copy of people's passports. Make sure,
I
yes,
would recommend that everybody take a copy with you.
and put it
and
maybe in your
passport.
suitcase.
Yeah,
or-
so you would
yeah.
have it in case something happens, you've got a copy of it over there.
Now, do not, be very careful, because you shouldn't need it while you're out on tour, unless of course the bus is moving from place to place, then you need it. So if you're overnight in a hotel, I normally lock mine in the hotel safe. Just make sure, if you do have it out with you for some reason, pickpockets, they're notorious in Europe. Ireland, not so much as a lot of other European cities, but still, pickpockets are always a problem, so. And I did have somebody who once had their passport stolen from them, so, and it's a hassle. In case of emergency, there's a CIE emergency number, there's a Travel House emergency number, though it's only manned certain hours. And then also, during the trip, I've given you John's cell phone number. So, but please, only use his for day of limo if you're running late to the bus or something, or if it's an absolute emergency during the trip or something like that. Don't store, and once you're done, please don't keep his cell phone number unless you want to.
I was going to say, your cell phone will not be used over there because it's a whole different system, but you still can text.
You can, well, you can use your cell phone. It depends if you have an international call. Yes, you
If
can.
you have an
So
international,
call
you
it.
can, but if you
Yes.
don't, most people don't have an international. So you can pick up your phone, it's not going to forward a phone call, you won't receive any. So if you're expecting a phone call from the States, you won't get it.
You can
They
text
can
back there.
text, you can text back and forth.
And that's,
yes.
we'll go over those options because there are other ways around that. So we'll go forward from that, so, okay. As far as baggage, you can only take one suitcase per person and one carry-on. Now, the baggage fees are included with the airline for your bags. It's got to be under 50 pounds. The suitcase should measure approximately, it's in that section, 30 by 20 by 10 for a maximum of 62 linear inches. So
So you
six,
said for the carry-on, that'll be our backpack?
it'll be your backpack, because if you take a full-size carry-on, they may or may not have room for it on the bus, and you're responsible for that too, because porterage for that bag is not included.
But that's gonna be, when are those packets supposed to be available? you said?
Tuesday or Wednesday of next week,
Okay.
so you'll have plenty of time.
She'll notify us, email us or
Yep,
something?
we'll email out that they're in the office.
It's not a very big backpack either.
No,
I was gonna bring
it's
mine,
literally a
but I figured
backpack.
You might have one.
Yeah,
Yes, it's only about this tall, about that wide.
Okay.
and your luggage has to be under 50 pounds. Okay, If you have any questions on that Access app, there's links to what I can bring through security at the airport and, that kind of thing. So if you have any questions, it's a good link to go through. So basically, for your carry-on, when you're going through TSA, for any liquids, gels, so anything you can smear, paste, any type of liquid, they've all gotta be 3 ounces or less, and they've all gotta fit in 1 quart size Ziploc bag, okay? That's for going through security, so that's your carry-on. Your check bag, you can put whatever you want in there as far as liquids and gels, but you are limited going through
Now,
security.
they have to be in their original containers, or can you put them in like the daily?
That's for pills, and pills, normally they don't hassle you if you put them in the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so you're normally okay with that,
Okay.
okay? I've never had anybody stop for that.
And that, one more question.
Yeah.
That'll go in your, check?
You wanna
Bag
take
or-
any medication in your check, or in your carry-on bag, because if checked is lost and you don't have your medication, it can be very hard to replace
Right.
over there.
Okay.
So you wanna keep your medication in your carry-on with you, okay? Here we have a tour participants list and contact information. It's gonna be on the Access app. A lot of things are easier in the app. You'll see when you go and look at it online or you download it to your phone, there are links that you can click on. I don't like giving out tour participant lists because privacy issues, but if any of you want to share your information with the rest of the group, you just go on there, fill it out, and there's a deadline you have to do it by, and then I will send it out to the entire group after the trip. The same with share your photos. There's a link there. We love to get photos. By doing this, you would be giving permission that we could use your photos if we want to put them on our website or something like that. Click on the link. You can upload right from your phone right into that, and we'll get your photos. So, and again, any photos that are shared with us from this trip, at the end, if anybody has shared anything, we'll send an album of those photos out to the entire group. Okay? So now we're starting the working itinerary. So October 3rd, you're gonna be here, 1 p.m. the bus is leaving. You're gonna be here 10 minutes early, okay? So to get on the bus, they're gonna take you to the airport, they're gonna drop you off. You're going to board, it's American Airlines Flight 722. It leaves at 6:07 p.m. and gets into Dublin at 5:35 a.m. the next morning, okay? You will see that your seat number is there on your itinerary, okay? Once you arrive in Ireland, that's when CIE is going to meet you. So, John is there, kind of look for John. You guys are gonna have to go in, go through customs and stuff. I normally try to meet up with my groups, since everybody's different paces, and you're different places on the plane when you get off. I tried to kind of meet up with everybody at baggage claim, because everybody's gotta go there to get their bags, okay? So I would look for John in the baggage claim area, okay? And then you can kind of go forward from there as a group to meet the CIE rep. So there will be an arrival voucher in your travel guide, which, like I said, it's gonna be a little booklet from CIE Tours, and then they're gonna have each, it's about maybe this size, and it'll have a voucher in it. CIE may or may not want it, so keep your booklets handy with you. Don't put them in a checked suitcase. Keep them with you in your carry-on in case CIE wants to see all the vouchers, okay? Okay, so once you're there, you're gonna go over to Terminal 2, and they're gonna meet you there, and they do transfers anytime between 7 a.m. and 12 noon. They do multiple ones. So you're gonna be in a little bit early, just because of what the flight schedules are. So it gives you plenty of time to go through customs, use the restroom, and then all meet up in baggage claim, and you still may have a few minutes before CIE starts transporting you over to the hotel.
What time will that be about over there that we arrive?
You're arriving at 5:35 a.m. Ireland time, okay? Now, your day, the first day, it's independent touring in Dublin, okay? So you may or may not be able to get into the hotel since it's so early, but what the hotel will do is they will hold your bags for you, and then you can go off and start exploring Ireland. You can start exploring Dublin. So just be prepared early in the morning. They're waiting for guests to check out. They have to clean the rooms, so don't plan on being able to get into that room immediately. Okay? Anything you might need, if you want to change of clothes or anything, keep in your carry-on. It's always a good idea to have a change of clothes in your carry-on in case your luggage is lost, so you at least have something with you. Husbands and wives, you might want to, if you're taking 2 suitcases, half in one, half in the other. That way, if one bag's lost, you both have stuff. But that's just the tip if you want to do that. Okay? So for your independent touring in London, so your first hotel is the Clayton Hotel Ballsbridge. Anything that you need, CIE will make sure you have. Every day or the day before, they'll let you know what time you need to get ready the next morning and that the bus is leaving. So your driver is your guide. They're normally fantastic. He will keep you informed and so make sure you're listening to him for starting times the next day and all that kind of stuff. So the first day that's at your leisure, you have a Dublin City Tour hop-on, hop-off pass. It's good for 48 hours. You're probably going to want it the first day. That is going to be a voucher in your booklet. I put the instructions here and your voucher to the driver. If you have any questions, the hotel front desk can help you and all that. But normally they're pretty simple. And then you can ride the bus around, you can get on and off, whatever you decide you want to do. Also included that first day, again, this is another voucher in your booklet that you're going to need. You have the choice of admission to either Guinness Storehouse, Teeling Whiskey Distillery, or Epic the Irish Emigration Museum, or the GPO Museum. Okay? So that voucher will get you into those locations. And again, if you need directions or any questions, where would I get off for this? Ask at the front desk. They're normally more than willing to help you and give you directions. Now, there is one caveat. If you want to do Guinness Storehouse, you'll see on the voucher, and I printed it on here, you do need to make advance reservations. There is a specific link that you click on here to go there. So if Guinness Storehouse is the option that you're choosing to do, you need advance reservations. You can either do it on your own via that link, or if you don't feel comfortable doing it and this is the option you want to do, call the office and one of us will do it for you. Okay?
What is the storehouse?
Guinness Storehouse. Guinness is their beer, so the storehouse is where they make the beer, and they have it's a whole thing there. Yeah, you can kind of get a history of their product and all that. It's very well known. It's probably one of the more popular things to do, and they do love their Guinness over there.
We looked, and I don't think, as far as we could tell, that the hop-on, hop-off bus comes to the hotel.
They'll tell you the
we saw there
closest.
was a train and there was a bus, but you get a taxi.
You can get a taxi.
That's-
And again, the hotel might be able to tell you a better way to get over there, so just ask them at the front desk. They're normally more than accommodating. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so day 2, your driver guide, they'll communicate to you, what time you need to be ready and all that kind of stuff. Day 2, you're gonna get a Dublin panoramic tour, do Dublin Castle, and then you have the Mary Plowboy pub at night included. And again, your driver guide's gonna give you all those details when you're on tour. Hey, be here, this is what we're doing, okay? So you're under their care from that first day. You're kind of on your own, but really CIE, you're under their care from then on, okay? Then on Friday, October 6th, you're gonna get to go to Blarney Castle and Killarney, so you can kiss the Blarney Stone if you're daring. Yes, and you're gonna go on to Killarney, which is a great pub town, and a great place to explore. You have breakfast and dinner included that evening. Again, he'll let you know dinners, where you need to be, and all that kind of stuff and how it works. So don't worry about those details. CIE will communicate.
So
all
that's
of
at
those
the Learning Tours Hotel?
Yes, you're gonna be at the Killarney Towers Hotel, yes. Then October 7th, you're gonna do the Ring of Kerry, which is very popular, very scenic and all that. And the Skellig experience, and then of course the sheepdogs that everybody loves to see. That day you have breakfast and lunch included, dinner is on your own. Your driver guide will probably have some suggestions for dinner. You can also ask at your hotel, they will also have recommendations. I have no fear that you will not find any place to eat in Killarney. October 8th, hopefully it's a nice clear day and you get a great view at the Cliffs of Moher. They're very beautiful. And then that night, or that evening, you have the medieval castle banquet. Breakfast and dinner is included that day. And you're gonna be moving on to the Clayton Hotel in Limerick because that medieval castle is right over in that area. Okay? After that, you're gonna do a stop in Galway on October 9th on Monday on your way back to Dublin. It's just breakfast that day, so they'll probably give you time for lunch in the area. And then again, once you get back into Dublin, there's lots of pubs. I mean, it's a city, so there's gonna be plenty of places to eat.
Which
So
day
just,
was that?
that's gonna be October 9th.
October.
And you're back in Dublin and you're gonna be staying at the Academy Plaza Hotel. The last day is going to be, basically get up, have breakfast. You might have, depending on what time the transfer is back to the airport, which CIE is going to be taking you back. So they will let you know what time you need to be ready to go back. And again, there's a voucher in your booklet for that they may want. But they will let you know what time they want you ready, that they're gonna take you back to the airport. So you might have a little bit of time to explore in the morning and all that you have to check out of the hotel. But again, they're gonna keep you advised of all these details while you're on the tour. Once you get to the airport, Ireland is usually one of the few destinations that they pre-clear you for customs coming back, which is really nice, meaning you do it in Ireland and you don't do it in the US. So you should do customs in Ireland, and then you're gonna go up to the gate. American Airlines, your flight leaves at 1:55. You're gonna get back here at 4:10 p.m. our time. And again, your seat number is under that flight information on this itinerary. After that, again, everybody getting off the plane and everything like that, I would say meet up in the baggage claim area and don't leave the baggage claim area until everybody has their luggage and you're ready to go out to meet the bus. Again, King Limo will be there. They'll be texting John with calling him. You should, when your plane lands, normally there's a message, hey, I'm your driver, I'm here, come to this area. It's area 8 near where the taxis is. The description is on there because it's a bus. They can't come through like where the cars come through. They have a separate area. So kind of stick with John. So don't leave baggage claim until the whole group is with John. And then you're gonna get King Limousine, and then again, they're gonna bring you back here, okay? Everybody in the group took travel insurance. At the back of your packet, it's just a copy of the Allianz travel policy in case you should need it. Hopefully nobody will need it. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through, that was just the itinerary in basic. So again, you're gonna have, again, another little booklet in your travel documents, and that's what I'm gonna go through right now, which is just general information for your trip, okay? So, we all have up-to-date passports, and we're good. We have euros, we have everything. When you get those documents, there may be an extra hotel list in there if you want to leave it at home with friends and family and that kind of thing. Keep your passport and any medications you need with your carry-on. Never put any of that in your checked bags, okay? There will be CIE towards luggage tags. So fill it out with your complete name and address and attach it to your luggage handle. There's one tag for your check bag that they will be including per person and one for your blue CIE Tours backpack. When you close your suitcase, all these instructions will be in the document with your documents. When you close your suitcase, they're gonna give you a CIE Tours luggage strap that goes around it. They ask that you put that around the suitcase because it helps them to identify your luggage, that you're with CIE and all that kind of stuff, okay? If you need more currency while you're over there, ATMs are normally pretty well readily available. They're normally the best exchange rate. And just let your bank know, hey, I'm going to Ireland, because it links to your bank account, so they know that it's not fraud. And then just ask if there's any symbols or anything you need to look at to use it over there. A lot of times you might need to have a PIN, but you normally do for your bank card anyway. So you can get currency from ATMs. Credit cards, American Express and Discover are not as widely accepted over in Europe. It's Visa and MasterCard are normally the two that are widely accepted. The other thing you want to do, a lot of credit cards now don't make you tell them where they're going, but you might want to check with yours just to say, hey, I'm going to Ireland, you need to know this, so they don't block it for fraud. The one thing that is very important that you ask them, are there international transaction fees on my credit card? Because you can get hit for an additional 3 or 4% on all your charges. So be very careful with that.
Want to say that again?
You want to make sure your credit card does not have any international transaction fees. Because if so, any card you make, they're going to charge you an additional 3 to 4% to convert it.
You mean it's part of their policy?
Yeah, it's part of their policy. There's certain credit cards, Capital One usually does not charge them, but I think Bank of America does. And it might depend on what credit card version of it you have too. So check with your credit card company so you're not all of a sudden caught unaware with all these extra charges from your credit card company. Let's see here. Weather, it's very similar to, you know, layers. So maybe, you know, a couple lighter things and then a sweater or something to go over, maybe a sweatshirt for evenings. So kind of layers. Make sure you have comfortable shoes for walking. You might want to, they're going to give you a poncho if you want to take an umbrella. I mean, it can get rainy over there.
Is there a lot of rain there typically in October?
Ireland is notorious, Ireland and UK for rain, but it's going to be luck of the draw. The weather's so crazy anymore. But yeah, I would plan on at least one day of rain. The weather forecast will probably start being listed on your app that you can start tracking it, normally about 10 days out.
Okay.
But yeah, but you have the poncho. You might want to take an umbrella just in
Just
case.
make sure you have enough warm. Friends of mine were over in June and they all had coats on. They were fun.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it really depends. The weather is crazy anymore. Let's see here. Daylight hours, you're going to be, as we are, you're going to be going into your shorter where it gets dark a little bit early. Daylight savings won't have taken place yet. Let's see here. Here's a copy or a picture of the packet you're going to be getting. So this is the backpack, kind of what it looks like. They're a pretty decent size.
And those would be right in the thing we picked up.
Right. Then there'll be the document wallet, which will have your vouchers and your little booklet and stuff in it. Here's a little poncho that clips on. Here's the luggage strap, and you'll get the 2 bag tags and the travel adapter, which is right there. So all that'll be coming. That's what we're waiting for them to send
What's
us.
the travel adapter?
What was that?
What is the travel adapter?
That's for your electrical appliances because their plugs are different over there. So you put your like cell phone, you'll plug it into that, and then that goes into their outlets.
Okay, so they do supply that.
Yes, they've given you that. But again, if you're doing curling irons or anything like that, you're going to need a converter because of the amount of wattage it does. All the hotels usually have a hairdryer in the room. So ladies, you're normally good with that.
Stop using curling irons.
There you go. There's some packing tips in here. So basically, you know, simplify your packing. 1 suitcase and 1 carry-on, which is normally that backpack. Carry-on restrictions are in here, what I told you, 3 ounces in 1 quart-size container per person. Otherwise, it's got to go in your checked bag. Let's see here. Here's kind of Again, that'll be in there like a packing checklist, just that you can kind of read through and see if anything goes. You might want to take, like Advil or something like that, maybe have some cold tablets with you never know. Comfortable walking shoes, layers are always the safest thing. Europe is notorious for not having washcloths. So if you use a washcloth, you might want to take one with you. You might get lucky and have one, but most places in Europe, they don't do the small washcloths. So, maybe a travel alarm clock. There, most rooms should have wake-up calls and all that, but you never know. So I use my phone for everything, for alarms and stuff. Stay connected. So phone calls, what we were talking about. So you're going to want to probably check with your carrier, say, hey, look, I'm going out of the country. What do I need? Because if you do want to call somebody back home, ask them about their international plans, okay? You also are going to ask them, what do I need to turn on and off on my phone? Because you definitely want roaming off, or you might want to stay in flight mode during a majority of the trip, because if you're pulling data, your provider is going to charge you, and it could get quite expensive. So my advice is check with your cell phone provider to talk about the options and do what is best for you. Now, what I normally do, I normally don't do data plans, but all the hotels should have Wi-Fi, and a lot of times, if you're out in a pub or something like that, they may have free Wi-Fi. There are a couple of different apps. The one that's probably the most popular and widely used is WhatsApp. You can download that. You can actually, when you are connected to Wi-Fi, you can make phone calls back to anybody in the U.S. who also has the WhatsApp. You can call back here and talk to them on the phone, and it's a free call because you're on Wi-Fi and you're doing it via the app. I highly recommend WhatsApp. You can also text people from there and all that. We all use it all the time.
One thing to do is to make sure you connect with that person before you go. Try it out at home.
Yeah.
Have them download the WhatsApp so that connection's already working.
Okay. Another good one is xe.com. That's currency. So you can put that on your phone, and that'll give you exchange rates if you want that. So you can say, hey, €5, how much is that in US? Or calculate it on your own too. But that's another good one. While you're on Wi-Fi, you can also do FaceTime. Facebook Messenger is one they recommend. I just know we use WhatsApp most of the time is what we...
Do they use euros, or what are they using?
They use euros. Yep. Now, if you would go up in the Northern Island, it's a pound, but your itinerary, you're staying down in the southern part, so it's euros. There will be stuff in your packet just from CIE about pictures and Get Social and all that kind of stuff, if you want to do any of that with CIE, okay? There's information about the transfers, which we have on your itinerary, and like I said, meet up with John in baggage claim, so nobody go past baggage claim until the whole group is there, and he'll say, hey, let's go. On here you'll see while on tour what's included, which just to kind of give you an idea, it's quarterage of 1 suitcase per person, so all the time they'll tell you when your luggage needs to be out and what the directions are for them to collect and put on the bus and everything for you. They'll give you directions about meals and all that kind of stuff. They do rest stops normally every 2 hours. There's free Wi-Fi on all their coaches, so that's something good. There may be USB charging outlets on the buses and stuff too, so you can kind of look for that. The day tends to begin between 8:30 and 9 a.m. in Ireland, and you're normally back to the hotel between 4 and 6 p.m. But like I said, he's going to let you know daily what you need to do. The CIE backpack, they say fits perfectly in the overhead rack or under your seat on the motor coach. Okay. Let's see here. Most of this is just kind of general information to kind of read through. One thing, special diets, I don't think I had any special dietary requests from anybody. If anybody needs a special dietary request, let me know. If not, also let your, actual guide on the tour know for the included meals. Okay, tipping. So your driver guide is not included, that's an additional tip. What they recommend, since he's one person, is €8 per person per day. You generally tip at the end, and you wanna do it in euros, you cannot put it on a credit card, so they're gonna want it in cash. So if you don't have any euros, you might wanna stop at an ATM or whatever to make sure, because they do an amazing job. That's the recommended. You can always do more, you can do less, depending on your experience.
Where did you say to stop for the euro?
ATMs, you can do them from ATM machines.
Over there.
Yeah, you can do currency exchange at the airport too, but normally those rates are really high. But if you want to do that, you can.
The driver guide, is that, will we have the same one?
Yep, he will be with you the entire time. Tipping in restaurants, if you're tipping, you should ask if it's been included. A lot of times in Europe, they'll include the service charge or whatever. If not, suggested amount is 10 to 15%. They don't tip quite as high over there as we do here. They also say that tipping is not at all common in pubs. However, if you've been given special service, a tip is a nice way to show your gratitude, so that's up to you. Let's see here. Medical needs, again, there's some suggestions for CPAPs and all that if you're doing that. Illnesses and emergencies, let your tour director know, and also keep John in the loop if in case something serious happens. He has the emergency contacts you gave me for everybody, so. Flying back home, again, they'll let you know what time you have to be ready for your transportation back to the airport. Let's see here. And then there's a lot of, shopping, what you might want to look for while you're over there and all that kind of stuff. It's a good little guide. It won't take you long to read through it. But once you get it, it's a good little thing to kind of look through, to know before you go. So
Is there a meal on the airplane?
Yes, generally going over, you'll get a dinner, and then a lot of times they'll do like a light breakfast, like, yogurt or a little sandwich or something right before you land, and coming home, they normally do like a lunch. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
All the backpacks are black and they're all the same. So I would put, on mine, I have a handkerchief that I have on mine so I can identify it if I put it down someplace, because you're gonna have all these backpacks on this bus. So if you,
Or
or you
string.
can crochet your name on it or your initials, put color stuff on it, whatever, to identify your bag. And there's also gonna be another group on the bus with us, is that correct?
Yes, there'll be other people
There'll
on
be other
the,
people besides just our group. And at the ATMs, most of the banks have an ATM right by the bank, but there are ATMs out and about. I would not wander off by yourself to go to an ATM, because like she said, there's pickpockets. Young boots could try to rob you after you go with somebody else. Don't wander off by yourself to do things. And at night, I wouldn't stay out without someone. I know some women like to run at night or whatever. I wouldn't recommend it in a foreign country. It's safe, but you don't know over there. They're all gonna know you're Americans by the way you dress and everything, so that could be an easy target with someone. But it's a great place to go. I've been there before, no problems whatsoever. Just think ahead and look to see what's around.
and again, your hotel is always a great resource, so ask at the front desk, hey, where's the nearest ATM and all that. And
Right.
they'll
So
be-
there's not one at the hotel then?
Not always, no.
Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. So what I do need from all of you is if anybody has American frequent flyer numbers, or you decide you want to sign up for one ahead of the trip, you have to do it ahead of the trip, or miles. Please send them over to me, either email or call us with your American numbers, and we'll make sure it's added to your flight reservation so you earn your miles. If anybody has any known traveler numbers, TSA PreCheck or Global Entry, again, please send them over to me. Email is preferred because I can copy and paste so I don't mess it up. But if you want to call with it, that is great too. It will add it into your reservations. Again, if you need help, if you decide Guinness Storehouse is the option that you want to do that first day and you need help making that advanced reservation, again, we're more than happy to help you with that. And I think that's the only other things that I need from you right now.
Silly sort of packing question.
Yeah.
You know the itinerary and where we're going. Is there any place that sneakers would not be allowed? I mean, that you would feel out of place?
Ireland's very casual. Yeah. Yeah.
Are hiking boots recommended with the
You
rain and
can,
stuff?
you can, I mean, in case it's a wet day, I mean, you definitely can. You're not gonna be doing a lot of like long hiking or anything like that, so, and you're in the
Yeah, but
city
the
centers a
waterproof.
lot of time, but yeah, if you wanna do a waterproof just to be on the safe side, you definitely can, yeah. Any other questions or any thoughts from anybody? Are y'all excited? I want to hear all about the sheepdogs. Yeah, what else? Anything? You guys are an easy group.
Should we need to pack a mask? Is there any place over there that
That's,
asks for one?
no, not right now. People really haven't reinstated that, but that's a personal choice. So if you want to take it, you
I
feel
just
more
think it's basically
comfortable.
mandated at
I
some
would
point.
pack one because it's coming back.
I mean, if they ask for you to wear one.
Some people prefer to wear one on the planes. It's a personal choice.
By the way, the new vaccine will be available by the end of the week. So I made my appointment to get mine on Monday. That way I feel like I'll be protected on the airplane because that gives me 2 weeks. So, you know, if anybody's thinking about that, then Monday would be a good day.
Any other questions or anything? I think you're good. I'm really sorry. This is the first group ever that I have not had the documents for the document meeting. I am so sorry. I told them back in August when it was. They just didn't have them in time.
We're the
I'm sorry.
guinea pig.
What?
We're the guinea pig.
You're the guinea pig. So yes, so we'll let you know. And like I said, our office is like a mile up the street. So if you want to stop in and pick it up, but if you need them brought down here for generations, it's not a problem either. I'll actually be here next Thursday for the National Parks presentation. So,
What email should we use for the known traveler number?
do you still have mine? Have you emailed me? Or do you have any emails from me? Reply to one of the emails from me. But if you want it, it's Lisa, it's Liza, it's Lisa with a Z. And it's travel with no vowels, so it's TRVL. And then the German spelling of house, HAUS, Sam.com.
Okay.
And if I'm not available, whoever answers the phone, you can give them the information. They will make sure that I get it.
Okay. Is it with a capital L?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter,
Email
okay.
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, you-
that's for, because he didn't get the.
Oh, for the access. I'll send it later. You'll get an invite to your email then. Yeah. Okay. Anything else, anybody? Lots of pictures. It's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah,
fun.
definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna ask her, but you had asked us to download that AirSign or whatever so that we can get through customs faster, is it?
Download the what?
There was an app.
Oh, yeah, customs app. If you don't have TSA pre-check, but you know what? You're not gonna need it because you should be doing customs in Ireland before coming back, so I don't think it's gonna make a difference. So it's not like when you get back in the US and you have to do the whole hassle, so you wanna get through customs. You're doing it over there, so I wouldn't worry about it, because you're gonna do it before you even check in for your
So
flight.
the only one we want to use is the access.
Yeah. Okay,
On the way back, you can exchange bills back here in the States or overseas. You can go to a bank. I don't know if the banks exchange coins or not. So it would be best to try to get rid of your coins. Or you have a souvenir when you come home.
And if you purchase currency from us, we will buy it back from you. You just have to return it to me and then we'll mail you a check. But again, we don't take coins, we'll only take bills. Okay? Okay? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great time. If you have any questions, let us know. Okay?
Looking forward to it.
I'm here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm making a difference, so.
Trying to stop
If you
this.
have any questions, let me know.